There was a point where I could still draw, but nothing I made felt alive anymore. It wasn't that my art was bad. It was finished, sometimes. It met the requirements, but it felt stiff, flat, empty, and that scared me more than being bad at art ever could, because I didn't feel sad in a dramatic way. I just felt disconnected, like something I used to have access to was just suddenly gone. At the time, I was a second-year art student, first semester, and there was just so much happening all at once. I was juggling project after project for my art classes. On top of that, I'm an honors student, which means extra responsibilities, extra expectations, extra pressure. I had to start up an entire club for my honors program. I was also involved in esports, and I was doing graphics for that too. At first, I thought I could handle it. I kept telling myself, this is fine, this is what being productive looks like, but slowly, things started to slip. I stopped doing as many graphics, the quality of my work faded, and honestly, my energy faded too. At the same time, I was trying to keep up with everything else, going to the gym, having a social life, and making sure I don't lose my friends, and just basic human responsibilities. There was never really a moment where I could just stop, and I barely had any time to myself, especially time to make art just because I wanted to. What I didn't realize at the time was how much all of this was taking from me mentally. I didn't have space to just exist. I didn't have space to think or wander or daydream, and that used to be where my creativity lived. I used to make stories in my head constantly, while walking, while listening to music, while doing absolutely nothing important. I'd imagine scenes, characters, animations set to songs, and that alone would push me to create. But at that point in my life, none of that was working anymore. Music felt boring, shows didn't inspire me, my color choices felt drained, everything felt very black and white, and honestly, really depressing. I kept thinking, what's wrong with me? Why can't I feel inspired like I used to? When winter break finally hit, something changed. Not immediately, but enough for me to notice. I realized something really important. I wasn't uncreative. I was exhausted, like deeply, emotionally tired. I had spent so long creating on demand, under pressure, with expectations attached, that my brain never got a chance to recover. And for a while, I genuinely thought I might never create the way I used to again, that maybe I'd lost a part of myself permanently. And I want to be honest here, even now, it's still hard. I still struggle to finish pieces, I still get stuck on ideas, I don't magically feel inspired every day. But that doesn't mean it's over, it just means I'm healing. Slowly. What helped me wasn't forcing myself to make more art, it was actually stepping away. I started spending time with my plants, which sounds small, but it helped me more than I expected. Being around something living, quiet, and slow helped me reconnect with that calm, natural energy. Nature has a way of reminding you that things don't need to be rushed to be meaningful. I also started listening to music differently, not while multitasking, not while doing something productive, just listening. Letting the music fill my brain, noticing the background layers, the small details. And from that alone, I ended up writing a character, then world building, just from listening to fantasy music. No pressure, no goal. I also started letting myself be alone and do nothing, not worrying about being productive, not stressing about whether I was improving myself, just existing. And recently, I went back to shows that inspired me when I was younger, like Voltron by Studio Amir, my favorite studio. Watching it again reminded me why I loved art in the first place, why storytelling mattered to me, why I wanted to create worlds. I think what this whole experience has taught me is that creativity doesn't disappear. It shuts down when you're overwhelmed. I used to spend hours drawing straight from my mind, and part of me wishes I could do that again. But I don't have the energy for that right now, and that's okay. Because creativity doesn't come from forcing yourself to produce. It comes from emotional recharge. So if your art feels stiff, if everything feels flat or colorless, that doesn't mean you've failed. It doesn't mean you've lost your creativity. It might just mean you're tired, and maybe what you need isn't more discipline, but more rest. Thank you so much for watching my first official YouTube video, I guess. I don't really know what to call this, but if you like what you see, like what you watched, subscribe, and you might get some more. I'm not 100% sure if I'm going to continue doing these.